When they reached the third tower, they hesitated,
Mm-hmm.
and they went back when they had all of their cooldowns up. That basically cost them the game, because Panda sucks late game,
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
and it's versus a Void who's very farmed.
Mm-hmm. Well, since you're the team captain, moving on to the next topic, and this is the drafting phase, I would love for you to guide us through the draft analysis of the teams, since I'm pretty sure you're much better than on this at this than me.
Well, basically, I don't draft based on. I don't usually draft based on what the other team is using. It's more of part of the draft is how the players want to play. We pick the heroes that we know we're strongest as, and we just ban the heroes we think are gonna ruin the heroes we're gonna pick. So they're banning Lycan and Tinker, two of the most annoying heroes, and Crobolus also, is they push a lot. And Tinker is just broken because of March.
Yeah.
And so they pick a Skyrath and Doom.
And based on how you've seen them play during the early game, I believe that Egbert Nation leans more on the defensive side whenever they play.
Yeah. So if they play like that, they're supposed to be picking a carry that does better in the late game if they play defensively.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, please continue.
Well, this is a good pick from the. Is it Radiant team?
Yeah, it's a Radiant team. The bottom one is the Radiant team.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
upper is Dire. Yeah.
This is a good pick. Tidehunter is very good. He's crazy off lane actually. No one can kill him if he builds correct items. Even a Skyrath mage with 2 clarities as a support can't kill the Tidehunter off lane if he goes for consumables. Kraken Shell and Anchor Smash ruins the lane for safe lane farmers if they're melee.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about that. So it actually is one of the best things that they could do. But Tidehunter would definitely go for. I've heard from some casters and other players that Tidehunter doesn't really finds it hard to be an off lane at the Radiant side compared to when he is on the Dark side. So what do you think about that?
I don't think it's that hard. You just need to be able to understand what the other the enemy team's safe lane is gonna work. Let's say if they pick a Skyrath and you know you're gonna be facing a Skyrath, you're not gonna buy anything related to stats or a stout shield. You buy like 12 tangos and a salve.
Mm-hmm.
So even if he spends all of his nukes on you, you're just gonna regen it back. You just take the XP, get the Ravage, then gank when you're 6.
Which is actually, to be honest with you, that's actually where most of the teams fail. Back, looking at the previous games, there was this one time, especially with Tactica Gaming and NLS. I don't know if you've watched that game, but that was actually one of the games where they failed to get the Ravage up at the Tidehunter as soon as possible. And it actually is kind of a sickness actually for most players whenever they go off lane. And they, okay, so for example, you're an off lane player and then your team starts to get whammed hard by the opposing team. Some off laners, they panic and then they suddenly start rotating. Not that rotation is bad, but more of that when you rotate, you make sure that you get a kill.
Yeah, it's going to be waste.
Going to be really, really, really wasteful. And we're seeing a Viper ban from the Dire team and a Witch Doctor on the Radiant. Oh, I can understand the Witch Doctor ban. They don't want Faceless Void to sync up with a Witch Doctor. But for the Viper,
I don't know if you always notice this, but in our games, almost always Viper is banned because he's annoying.
Really? Well, we haven't done the ban analysis on our engine yet for the stats.
Yeah.
But really, you've been banning Viper a lot.
Yeah, we hate him, especially against this Doom. Doom won't be able to chase with Scorched Earth if there's a Viper around, because Corrosive Skin will proc if you're scorching him.
Oh yeah, right. You know, it's Viper Corrosive Skin doesn't really make sense when you think about it, because how can someone who's so far from you like damage you with Corrosive Skin? Because we've seen some games where they do exactly that. They pick a Viper against somebody who plays an AoE character, just because the corrosive kin will mess you up so bad, even if you're not even close to the Viper. Like for example, you have a Bat Rider, and then you have the Firefly up, and then for example, Viper would just decide to walk on top of your Firefly to slow you down.
Yeah, it can also sometimes cancel blink daggers. Let's say you have a Dark Seer and you have Iron Shell on, and you're able to get the blink duration up. Then you hit the Viper with your Iron Shell, which you can't control, and suddenly your blink is cancelled, and you're screwed.
Yeah, indeed. It's like a worse. It's a worse version of the Nyx carapace, of the Spike
Yeah,
carapace. Yeah,
because it's always on.
indeed. Doesn't stun you, but really puts you out of position. And now the next bans come in. We have the Rubik getting banned. Is Rubik still a good ban when you have like a Phases Void? I mean, you could use it strategically, but it could only be as useful as until like the late game.
I think the Rubik is a waste of a ban for the Dire team
Mm-hmm.
because they don't have any spells that the Rubik can steal and put to really good use, except for the Chrono. But even that is hard to place because you might disable your teammates.
Mm-hmm. I think they were going for big ults. I was actually feeling that they were planning to, and yeah, we have quote unquote big ults. We have Doom, the Doom on the Doom, the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast. But then again, these are ultimates that don't really give you that much presence. I mean, even if I think what I'm trying to say is even if you have Rubik on the Radiant team, the way that the team fights will proceed, it's not going to be like you're going to be engaged upon, and then you have the Rubik in position or something like that. It's easy. Rubik. Yeah, I agree that it's a bad ban. I can't find the right words or the right explanation to do it, but I feel that it is.
I really like this late Radiant draft, but to note that both teams draft similarly to each other. It's wombo combo for both of them.
Yeah.
But I think the Radiant team has a better advantage because this team can jungle better with the Sand King, and Skywrath Mage is a better laner than Ancient Apparition or Silencer. I think they're gonna go for Silencer mid, just
Again.
just like the previous draft. But I think 4CEC used the Silencer mid, right?
They did. It
Yeah.
was it actually didn't work out for them for the early stages of the game. It was one of the biggest. It was biggest cause of delay for the entire 4CEC to go online. I mean, yeah, you have the global silence, but what about it? I mean, that's about it. That's about everything that you get for a silencer in mid lane. Have you tried it? It's really really difficult to pull off, and it's whenever you go for a silencer mid lane, you're ensuring that you don't get any ganks for your side lanes at all.
Yeah, and he can't gank very well. It's difficult, but it should work against the Panda. The thing that he was doing wrong was he casted Curse of the Silence all the time before he casted the Last Word. But the order of should be he should cast Last Word, wait for the silence, and then cast his Curse of the Silent.
Oh, for the last word. Actually, that makes a lot of sense, right? Because the Curse of the Silent. Well, the hero would probably is okay. Let's put it to consideration Brewmaster, and if he casts the what do you call this, the Thunderclap, and then he would have nothing to cast for the last word. Yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to reiterate, some factors for the viewers who are watching the stream.
Yeah. I think this draft favors Radiant heavily because they have more disable that comes online faster because Void takes a long time to get its disable. Same for AA and Silencer. The Dire doesn't have a hard disable, while Radiant has a lot. They have Invoker with Cold Snap and all of his 10 spells, Tidehunter with a Ravage, Sand King with a Burrow Strike, and now they have a Chaos Knight. I think this is bad for Dire, unless they really win their lanes hard or pick some sort of controlling hero. But I think they're too full on cores right now. They have 3 cores already. Unless they put the Silencer as support, which is not usually going to work out unless they have heroes that can kill a lot. A support Silencer can transition into a hard carry if he gets enough assists and a stolen int.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think this is going to be a case with the Radiant heroes because they're all tanky and strong.
And that's, of course, as you have indicated, that's a big if.
Yes. This Skywrath mage is the squishiest hero, but with his high movement speed, I think he can get away from Silencer and Ancient Apparition's Cold Feet before they proc, so I don't think it's going to be effective at all. I really favor the Radiance draft, and we have to see if Egbert can pull out a big hero that might change the scales for them.
Yeah,
and it's taking them a long time.
Yeah, they're actually a bit. I think that they feel that they are pushed to a corner with the decision making right now. I have to note, Leo, that I think they really made a bad decision during the last ban, because remember the fifth ban for the Radiant came in first before the fifth ban of the Dire, and sometimes the reason why you switch bans, right? Oh, Wraith King, it's a pretty bad pick.
Oh.
Is it a good pick? I mean, I would have preferred a ranged carry or something.
Yeah, or a ranged support. Just not a melee. They have so many melee heroes. And Wraith King can be a roaming support. He's playing support right now, actually. This Silencer is going to be a carry. 3 cores. It can work, but they need to dominate the lanes well. And it's going to be very difficult against this lineup.
Definitely.
Because of how fast the Skywrath moves, and the Sand King also has many escape mechanisms. When he gets level 2, he's gonna level up Sandstorm, and maybe just jungle if the lane is hard for him.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. Give me a few moments to introduce the team. So we have 4CE-C on the Radiant team. They took the first win in the best of 3 series, in the best of 3 series that we will be having tonight. And we have EG on the Dar side. So of course we have second game switch sides. We have Scorch now on the Centaur. Chaos Knight. He actually played the Face Void earlier. We have Pin on the Skywrath Mage. Aniko on the Sand King. Aknologia on the, what do you call this? Invoker and the Tidehunter for ILG. Now, I think if they're going, for some reason, they're going for an offensive tri lane.
Yeah. I think so.
And before we end, let me wrap up with the introduction. So for the Dire team, we have now Bebe on the Silencer, Shamanuchi on the Faceless Void, the Perfect Stat or something on the Doombringer, ZDZ on the Ancient Apparition, KVD on the Wraith King. I want to go back to what I was saying earlier. So again, the 5th ban of the Radiant comes first for this game before the 5th ban of the Dire. I mean, the reason why you alternate those things is because it gives you time and an opportunity to rethink who you'll be banning next and who might the next pick be. If for example, if the opposing team banned an Earthshaker, it could be an indicator that that team is going for an illusion-based kind of hero. But they didn't. The reaction was to go for Spectre, which was actually for me quite a wasted pick.
Yeah,
wasted ban rather. So I don't know.
Instead of banning what can counter their strategy, I think they just ban because they think it's a bad hero. But even then, they have to think well to use their bans. They have to think about the draft. So they understand which heroes can counter their draft heavily. Like you said, the Earthshaker against the illusion-based lineup, pushing-based lineup.
Yeah.
And they wasted a ban with a Rubik.
Oh yes. We have, that's going to be very evident here in the coming stage of the game. I mean, once you ban Rubik, sure, there are cases. The first time that Rubik was prominent in the professional scene, he was almost always banned. Because normally back then it was definitely wombo combo based everything, but now things are a bit different. It's not that those kinds of things don't work anymore, but more often than not, Rubik is easier to shut down because of the new meta, because of the patches and everything.
Yeah, Rubik stopped being a middle after his Fate Bolt got nerfed. His damage used to be 325, now it's 200 plus. It got nerfed.
Oh yeah.
And it was the meta of the wombo combos with Enigma and Ravage. Black Hole and Ravage and Sleep. It's Naga Siren versus everything.
Yeah. But, so again, that's it. That's why going back, guys, if you're just tuning it now, we were just discussing why Rubik was a bad ban for Egbert Nation. Okay, now back to the game. Let's go to the laning phase analysis. Normally, Coach does it for me, but now I have you, Leo. So please, can you guide us? How do you think the lanes would proceed?
I
In
don't
the
think
game?
you saw this earlier, but the Dire are doing double pulls. They stack the Ancients here,
Mm-hmm.
so they get double pulls. And when they pull it, it kills the entire creep wave.
Yep,
So the
yep.
Radiant doesn't get a single bit of XP. It's
Oh
a
yeah.
really good thing to do, actually.
Yeah, looking at the hero levels, the tri lane on the top for for the Radiant team, they are sitting at the bottom end of the level graph. So they're just sitting at level 2 at most, compared to the Face Boy who's already sitting at level 3, and who has, by the way, looking at the last hits, has a decent 10 last hit
I
for
think
this
it's fairly
Trident.
even.
Mm-hmm.
But this laning phase favors the Dire
Mm-hmm.
because the Radiant team need kills.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I think once this Sand King gets level 3 and level 2 into Sandstorm, he's gonna head straight into the jungle. But even then, it still favors the Dire, because this Doom is solo versus Tidehunter. They're both gonna get farm. But if you consider a Doom versus Tidehunter, the Doom will always win because he has Doom. He won't be able to get his Ravage off.
Yeah. Actually, that's really true. Uh, but for at least for the early game, at least I think, considering what you had indicated earlier, I believe the Time Hunter doesn't really have to face off with a Doom, as long as he gets to level 6, right? So
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, if you play a Tidehunter, you want to play against the Tri-Lane,
Uh-huh.
because he's very tanky and he can survive many difficult situations. In contrast to the Doom, where you just want a free lane so you can farm up a lot of gold with your Devour and get a Blink Dagger for a stun if you devour a stunning creep.
Mm-hmm.
They play differently
Yep,
as
yep.
off lanes.
Oh, hang on. The middle lane, we are seeing some action here. Acknowledge going for the call snap out of Bebe, but he's actually is forced to go back. Scarf Mage and Sand King rotate to the middle lane. We might actually see a first blood coming in, and indeed the first blood goes in at 4:49 on the clock, thanks to the rotation coming in from Aniko and the Scarf Mage. But yeah, just a few seconds later, Tidehunter dies. He actually aggroed and dived to the bottom tier 1 tower, which was actually a bad decision. I mean, that's the thing with strength heroes, right? If you're a strength hero and you're going against an agility or a melee hero, it's easy to be very, very abusive, to be very aggressive, because you have an extra HP buffer. But if you're going against a strength hero, you have to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, I think he just got greedy because he got the Doom very low, but he didn't consider that he might have gotten his auto attacks blocked by Stout Shield. So it's the power of Stout Shield saving the Doom. And he also wasted Ravage for that, and he didn't even get the kill. He got killed instead.
Yeah, so...
And the Doom still has Doom.
And it's now actually sitting at level 7 because he survived. So this is going to give him, he's actually going for a Hand of Midas there recipe. So he knows that against a Tidehunter solo, he is in command of the kills. And if you look at the net worth, actually, Doom the first position goes to the Chaos Knight, but the next 3 goes in favor of the Dire team. So there's that.
This Chaos Knight, actually, this player itself, this Scorch guy, he's very good at last hitting. I saw his Void earlier, he was farming like a madman, but the problem with him is I think he chokes with his skill build and his item build, and he doesn't know where to go, but he farms incredibly fast.
Oh wow! Yeah, we actually noticed that. I thought it had something to do with the who was the offlane back then? I couldn't remember. Center Warrunner. We thought that it had something to do with the Center Warrunner getting harassed so much by the Warlock and the Shadow Shaman. But yeah, now that you put it that way, apparently, yeah, he's actually a really, really good last hitter, even if minimal amount of harassment from his teammates.
Yeah, he's getting all of the last hits because he has a Quelling Blade, and the damage of the Chaos Knight is absurd low. That's 84 damage plus 32% because of the Quelling Blade.
Yeah.
But he's farming really well. I think he's fairly even right now. If this Doom should make something happen with his Doom, though, I think. And he should have not wasted time with the Midas. I think he could have killed off the Invoker or went to top and killed everyone if he devoured a creep that had a stun.
Mm-hmm. But I think, yeah, since he went for Midas, he would have to wait a little bit longer for him to get. He needs the brown boots. He needs it.
Yeah, he needs boots. And this Sand King
uh-huh.
is not doing anything, actually. He's wasting a bunch of time with this haste rune. They think they want to kill the mid. This silencer. I think they can. Because this Invoker is Quas Vex, which is, I think, the best build against this lineup, because every one of the Dire is mana dependent, and one EMP can ruin.
Hang on, let me cut you off there. The top lane, you see action coming in. Wraith Fire Blast going in for KVT, locking Scorch down. Scorch replies with a 3-second stun there on top of the Faceless Void, but not going to be able to help him out escape that position there. So he gets locked out, he dies. Sand King goes in for the support, but wasted global silence reply there for Silencer. Was he ganked by the Scarlet Witch at the Invoker at the middle lane? Because he threw a global silence just now, and the kill was already there to the top lane. So I'm just hoping that the global silence was casted by Bebe at the middle lane because he was ganked. Otherwise, it would have been a very wasteful global silence.
I think it was a wasted global silence.
Oh, sad. That's a big sad. That's really, really sad.
Yeah, but this Invoker, I think, is going to counter the Dire Heroes if he plays it correctly, because he's Quas Vex. One EMP is going to ruin this Wraith King's life, as well as this Void. Actually, everyone. Void, Doom, and Wraith King all need a lot of mana to cast their spells, and they only have enough for one combo. So if it gets cut off by just a little bit, they pretty much can't use their hero to their full potential.
And yeah, because I believe EMP on the max level, it has like it burns 550 of your mana.
Yeah, and it has a low cooldown as well, so you can use it to defend towers.
Oh crap! Yeah, that's why this is going to be really bad. I mean, not just defend. I mean, when they push, they could shoo the entire Dire team away. They could push it back. Just throw an EMP, and screw your mana. We want to push this lane, so we're gonna go with it.
Ashen top.
At the top lane, Face Void goes in with the Chronosphere, catches 3 heroes, wonderful there, but Wraith King actually getting caught as well. Arcade, what do you call this? The silence from the Scarlet Mage not going to allow KVD to throw in the stun there. And we see a back and forth during this team fight. Curse of the Silence up on the Sand King, dropping his HP and his mana right now. Aknologia goes in, and he is here to rescue his teammates there. The Cold Snap catches one of the heroes. I think it was the Silencer, the Wraith King, but now he is the one who is in trouble. The auto attacks from the Silencer are just too much, dealing so much damage right there, and Silencer gets the first 2 intelligence steal at the 10-minute mark. So yeah, a little bit of back and forth. They even needed the help of the Silencer. Of the Invoker.
Doom bottom.
Oh wow! Another thing happening. Doom goes in for the Doom at top of the Tidehunter. Tidehunter will not be able to crack and shell his way out of this one, but the duration is not enough, and he survives with around 30 HP.
Does crack and shell block Doom damage?
I don't think it will be able to because it's disabled.
Oh, so it's just a miscalculation on Doom's part. I think this Invoker's item build is wrong because he's not buying face boots when he's Quas Vex.
Oh, when you're Quas Vex, you have to buy face boots. Is it because of the damage?
Yeah, because you're gonna lack on physical damage as well as chasing power. You want to be able to move as fast as you can, as early as you can. So face boots is a good choice. And I think he's gonna get treads, or I think he's rushing Midas, maybe even Midas. Yeah, I think it's too greedy for a Quas Vex build because you need to be able to gank. If you watch Quack play Exort, this Invoker, Quas Vex Invoker, he gets face boots and drums and just ganks everyone once he gets high enough levels of tornado, Vex 4 tornado range.
Well, I think that's yeah. Actually, I've seen Quack play a lot with a variety of heroes, so he's actually he's a beast in the middle lane. And what happened to the Golden Invoker? Did he just go for the Midas? Oh
Yeah, he
yeah,
did.
he actually did go for the Midas there. Oh, they're diving the Doombringer here. TP from the Doombringer going to save his life, and he's now safe. The 4CEC ILG again overextending to the beyond the tier 1 tower, and he has to pay with it. He has to pay with his life. And now Aniko is in a very bad position. He actually borrowed strike to the top, but unfortunately for him, the ancient apparition had observer wards on him, giving them vision on this area of the map. So he's dead. Bad plays coming in for 4CEC. We might actually see a third game if this continues.
I don't understand what the Radiant team is doing. I don't think they understand how their lineup is supposed to function, because they're farming when they're supposed to be killing stuff. You have a Skywrath Mage and a Sand King. I think the Sand King should have stacked Ancients a million years ago and gotten its dagger. So they could initiate fights better, but this Sand King is doing nothing for the team. And I think the pick of Sand King is not really effective unless you plan on doing the jungling. Because he's weaker than the Wraith King, because his initiation range is lower at the lower levels. He has short range, Burrow Strike. And the only upside to Sand King is his ability to jungle for a Blink Dagger, and which they're not doing. I think it's a waste of a pick. A waste of a draft, actually, because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing right now.
Yeah, but would you say that it's also a matter of execution, not just the draft? Oh, hang on, the bottom lane, we see a concussive shot coming in from the Skywrath Mage. They are locking Doom down, and Doom actually TPs to the base, but he gets stunned with a Burrow Strike. But will he survive? He is just so tanky right now. He was able to cast the Doom on top of ILG. Silence coming in from the Silencer, not going to be able to... Radiant team just locked down there, not going to be able to provide support for the Tidehunter, and Ancient Apparition do take the life of the Tidehunter. I don't know if it was worth it, but somehow I think it is. At the middle lane, Acknowledge goes for the Silencer here. Stun coming in from Chaos Knight. They still have the Reality, and indeed, they do take him down. And now it's a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of 4CEC.
They should have been doing this earlier, actually, I think.
What were they waiting for then? I mean, they're doing it now. Question is, what were they waiting for? Was it the Drum of Endurance pickup on the Chaos Knight? Was it the level?
I am not sure. But I don't think this Chaos Knight's build is good, because just because of the mana cost of the ultimate, I don't think you should skill ultimate until level 10. Because you need it to be level 2 to be actually effective. So you take it at the last possible minute, like 10, last possible level. You get it at 10.
Just
and
like
get higher levels of Chaos, Chaos Bolt and Reality Rift.
Oh, hang on, they should be careful. They don't want the tower to go just below the deny range. They go towards up the ramp into the dire jungle. Tornado. Oh, a double initiate coming from Apologia. They shouldn't have done that. They went for the Tornado, buying Doom some more time up in the air, and now Ravage coming in from the Tidehunter, knocking 2 heroes down. But will it be worth it? Faces Void takes the life of the Skywrath Mage away, and now it's 3-on-3 action coming here. Egbert goes for a double kill, catches the Sand King during the team fight as his double kill hero, and now Faces Void goes for the double kill as well. It's a 5-for-1 exchange. It's a complete team wipe for 4CEC. So really bad decision making there, going towards a position where they didn't have enough vision, and not to mention enough capability and firepower to just drown the entire Dire team in damage.
I don't think Radiant should be losing. I don't know why this is happening. They're getting out executed by a long shot by heroes they aren't supposed to lose to.
Yeah, it has it has something to do, I believe, with how Tidehunter has been too eager at the bottom lane for some reason. And yeah, so, and giving Doom that enough boost to go for, he knows that he could handle Tidehunter. It sent the wrong message to the enemy team, and now it gave the Doombringer the bravery, the audacity to buy a hand of Midas instead of something that would be more useful earlier in the game. And now they know that those kills, those deaths, actually, I believe, affected the morale of 4CEC to a point that, they actually they seem to be on the back foot. They're playing really safe.
They're playing too safe.
Yeah.
In
Oh.
an aggressive lineup, you shouldn't play that way.
So Minucci goes in with a time walk, doesn't have the ultimate there, and they do take the Sand King during that engagement. Now Chaos Knight Tidehunter are here. The Ravage is still on cooldown for 35 seconds. Invoker is taking the long way around to walk towards here. Scarlet Mage can't do anything right now. They don't have anybody who can go in and just kill somebody out. They don't have the Ravage. They don't have the Sand King. Sand King is still what? Just arrived at level 6. Doesn't even have the Blink Dagger. Doesn't look like he's close to it. So the Blink Dagger would probably take you like 8 more minutes tops if your farm goes undisturbed. So it's going to be a more a profitable 5 minute. The next minutes will be profitable for Egbert Nation.
The Radiant supports are so underfarmed. It's not even funny. The Sand King should have gotten his Blink Dagger 10 years ago, maybe 10 minutes ago, if he just jungled. Because he's not doing anything to help his team in the early laning phase. Because his Burrow Strike was so short range. In level 3, he skilled up Burrow Strike instead of a level 2 Sandstorm, which is the requirement to jungle. And he just sat around lane, not even soaking XP. So he's level 6 right now, 18 minutes. The other supports of the enemy team are farming jungle, so they're rich. This Wraith King is almost Blink Dagger.
Whoa. Yeah, it's actually sitting at 1-7. So, and there's an imminent engagement going at the middle lane. They do take the tower. Oh, they dive in. They see the Wraith King right, and they want to take him down. They know the Resurrection is still on cooldown, so they take him on. Now 5 heroes clumping in. It could be a 5-man Chronosphere, and indeed, it is a 5-man Chronosphere. Faceless Void taking away 4 heroes right now, and only the Scarlet Mage is alive. And now Ancient Apparition takes his life away. I think it's with the Ice Blast. He actually just shattered.
That's perfect execution by the Dire team, actually. Radiant team just got wrecked. They only lose the Wraith King because they didn't have Resurrection on him at the moment.
And they've been, 4CE-C have been needlessly aggressive across that 19 minutes of the game. I mean, yeah, sure, you can take kills if you catch them out of position, but the question is, will you be taking them down fast enough? And they haven't been able to do so. And on that note, I don't know. I believe they got too eager. They were able, while you were discussing the some of the current things that have been happening in the game, they were able to take down the Scarlet Mage here at this area near the Radiant Ancient. And I think they got too eager after that kill. They thought that, hey, maybe Egbert Nation won't be expecting us to continue go for the ganks, but you know, more often than not, teams expect that. You take somebody out in a quick pick-off, and you're going to be able to, you know, they're probably gonna go for another kill. So that's
Silencer has Ags.
Oh wow. Does he? Oh yeah, the courier just came in, and oh, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt Leo.
Yeah, he stole 18 int. Is very decent amount of int he stole already. And if he wins more fights, it's basically saying victory is assured for the Dire team. Unless the Sand King gets a miraculous Blink Dagger and an amazing combination from Tide and Invoker, they do everything perfectly. I don't think they're gonna be able to win a fight just because of how wrongly they played their heroes, their lineup. See, this Invoker is playing, his items are for an Exort Invoker. You go Midas for a safe lane Exort Invoker and the Necronomicons, because you need fast experience to raise your Forge Spirits so that you get double Forge. But right now, this Wex Invoker is not doing anything for the team.
Oh, whoa. Oh, Silence getting casted here, but Silencer, I don't know for what reason. I think it's a misclick.
No. Aghanim's provides the damage. I think they could have killed. The Curse of the Silent gets casted on everyone. It was almost enough to kill this Skyrat, actually.
Yeah, they just didn't have enough damage. Wow, I completely forgot that. Thank you, Leo, for correcting me. And yeah, I didn't act. It was actually, we should have actually caught that during the drafting phase. That it was a possible combination.
Yeah,
and, I believe that even 4CE-C did not expect that. Oh, Blink going in. Doom on top of on top of the Invoker. Radiant's Courier was killed. So Shaminuchi catches the Chaos Knight right here. The Invoker is dead. Scorch dies as well, follow suit. Now 2 heroes are dead. 3 heroes are dead for 4CEC. Sand King goes for the channel of his epicenter, but he dies before it finishes off. Now Skywrath Mage is left to fend for himself. Pin is completely alone. And they're now going for the tier 3 tower. This is really, really absolutely bad.
I think they just go straight and end the game right now.
Yeah, actually the best thing they could do. I mean, we haven't even had the, what do you call this?
This Doom crits for around 300 damage.
Oh, really? Is it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he has.
It's 200 damage, yeah. Oh no, Wraith King is about to die. He might not, he might actually use his resurrection. Oh, okay, he was able to. Radiant team could bounce back from this. Oh no, hang on. Doombringer might actually be caught off guard here. He's trapped in between 4 heroes. He tries to blink out but gets stunned. It's not enough. The range is not enough. 4 seconds stun there on top of perfect state, and he will die. Doombringer was able to cast it off the Invoker, but it will not be enough for. That's a good pickoff, I believe. At least they didn't have to use much of their not much effort there coming in from the Radiant team, but they lost a lot of experience. By the way, 5 people for 1 hero for like 20 seconds. You're going to have to walk towards the lanes and miss at least 1 creep wave. And considering the what do you call this? Considering the experience per minute, the first 3 heroes on that list are from the Zar team.
Back to your question, I think the best way Radiant can come back from this is to have Chaos Knight bait, and then into an Invoker, Tornado EMP, and then Ravage and Epi. If they get it on everyone, I think it would be enough if they focus all of their physical damage on this Void, because this Void is still pretty low on HP, he just has backtrack. They just focus the Void and they win, I think. Unless this Doom gets his mech off. But even then it's a long shot if Radiant is able to do their combo. Because I think Dire is high level that at least 2 or 3 is gonna survive and they could still win the fight with 2 or 3 heroes.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we haven't been checking out the Dire, the gold and experience graph, but the Radiant are now sitting on their tail. They kind of felt that something is up, so they're just walking. They're just waiting right now for the Dire team to reveal themselves. And just as you said, they should actually go for the Roche, but no, Wraith King is getting revealed, goes for the stun on top of the Sand King. Silence coming up from the Silencer, dropping the Sand King almost immediately, and now 4 heroes are left for the Radiant team. I think the Tidehunter is also dead. Wraithfire Blast for Wraith King goes for the double kill, gives him that double kill, 2 heroes down without having to sacrifice any of their own. Well played there, Egbert Nation, and they will definitely go for the push. They still have the Chronosphere up, and they will use it. Shaminuchi uses it on top of the Chaos Knight. Mystic Flare defensively used by the Skywrath Mage to save Chaos Knight. Doom on top of the Invoker, and now 2 heroes bites back. Ravage getting casted on top of 3 heroes. Doombringer might actually die here. Bebe is still getting aggroed by a lot of towers. Oh, Perfect State is still alive. Silencer throws the Curse of the Silent of top 2 heroes. Borrows the Sandstorm to cancel that curse. Now EMP casted by the Invoker. No resurrection for you, Wraith King, and you're in danger of dying. Oh no, the Magic Wand's going to give him enough mana. So 2 heroes down, forcing the buyback onto 2 other heroes, on the same heroes who died. Well done there for Egbert Nation, and they definitely is taking much advantage here on this in this game.
Is this 4CE-C team UP?
Not really sure. I haven't checked the team profile yet.
I haven't played with them. I don't know their names actually. I've played with some of Egbert, I think, in pubs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
Like scrims and UP?
No. Maybe pub games. I haven't played anyone in scrims. We haven't scrimmed any LB team actually.
Yeah. No, to be honest, a lot of you guys should actually check out other teams, you know, outside of LB, who are not UPLB based, because they're more active. I mean, we're not really active, so yeah, that's exactly the point. I mean, most UPLB teams are not exactly that active, including
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah,
So,
we have exams soon, so
oh, okay. Okay, KVD goes in for a blink and stuns Aknologia, drops the Blade Mail there, but I think it's a little bit wasted because of Curse of the Silent. Sorry, the Global Silence was casted. Ice Blast support coming for Ancient Operation. Is it going to find anybody? So finds the Invoker and the Tide Hunter. Tornado coming in from the Aknologia. They're going to drop the mana from KVD, and KVD dies. Wonderful timing there. But Silence was able to take away the life of Tide Hunter. They're now chasing 3 heroes down. Invoker is almost dying. And now the Chaos Knight is almost dead. Aniko goes for the stun support there to distract everyone from chasing the Chaos Knight down. And Chaos Knight will just run towards safety. 2-for-1 in favor of 4CE-C. And this will definitely be a push for the Zar team. They have the capacity to do so. The Ravage is on cooldown. Not to mention that the Tide Hunter is dead. Mystic Flare dropped by the Skywrath Mage. But it's on top of Tomb. What else can you do? You only have like what, a level 1 Mystic Flare? That's
yeah.
just what, 600 damage. It's not going to be enough. Fortification coming in, and the EMP is on cooldown, going to deplete the mana of 2 heroes only. The Silencer is still alive. Bebe still has that auto attack damage with the Silencer. Oh, Chronosphere finding only 1 hero there. It's Skywrath Mage without mana, so it's a little bit useless there. So Invoker was 4-staffed back into the game. Who the hell 4-staffed the Invoker? Was it himself? Yes, it was himself. He 4-staffed himself back into the fight. Misplay there from Invoker. And now the middle racks are going down. The remaining 3 heroes on the Dark team who are alive has no means. They have no means of fighting this. And they would have to helplessly watch as their tower falls down. And the racks go down, yeah.
I think the Radiant, I attribute this Radiant loss because of the failure of the supports to know what they're supposed to be doing. They didn't do what they needed to do at the right time, and they decided to go aggressive when the enemy team already had mechs and blinks and all of the big item gap. This Sand King doesn't even have enough mana for his Burrow Strike Epicenter combo.
Oh shit, yeah, he doesn't have it. He's like sitting at what, 200?
Yeah, 299.
Yeah, 299, and he needs what, 300 something?
Yeah, 305.
So he needs to like wait for a few seconds before he could cast Epicenter there. And not to mention that he won't be able to cast any protective Sandstorm. I believe at this point, I also play Sand King from time to time, he has enough mana. But the thing is, it's with Silencer.
Yeah, it's too much. He needed to just jungle, I think. If he went jungle and left the Skywrath to babysit the Chaos Knight, because the Dire team wasn't able to do anything to the Chaos Knight from farming. They weren't able to stop Chaos Knight from farming. They just had the Sand King sap XP from the Chaos Knight and Skywrath instead of being efficient in jungling. This Invoker build is also, I think, partly the reason why they lost.
Are you talking about the item build, or are you talking about something else?
I think the item build, because he played it the wrong way. You're supposed to gank early with the Wex Exort, because that's the only time where Wex is, EMP is powerful in the early to mid game. That's the most powerful EMP is gonna get. Because it's gonna drain everyone's mana to 0.
And yeah, oh, hang on, KVD goes in and blinks on top of Scorch. Skywrath Mage throws in the concussive shot, Tornado from Aknologia, getting wasted for a Wraith King, and now 4 heroes. It's a 4-hero Chronosphere there for the Faceless Void, and wow, it's a complete wipeout almost immediately. And now Chaos Knight is also dead as well, so the GG's gold from 4CE-C is going to be 1-for-1, and we'll be moving to game 3. Wow, Leo, we are looking at very well-matched teams right now.
Yeah, I think they're similar teams in both playstyle and drafting, but they need to work on a lot of things.